Welcome back to our Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay Jagger.
And I'm Keith Williams.
On today's episode, we've got Guilty, the Delphi murder trial ends, UFO or UAP, the Vegas hates the NFL right now, golfing and politics, COP-29, and final story of the day, dirty Barbies.
Dirty Barbies.
Dirty boy. Yeah.
Should wash them.
You know, I feel like they never come out the same way. That hair, once you ruin it, it's just done.
Oh, yeah, I never.
Just done.
I have no experience with that.
Fair enough. I used to cut Barbie's hair like that was part of the thing you should do with a Barbie. Like, I'd take it out of the packaging, give it a nice haircut, and we're good to go.
Can't be having shaggy Barbie.
You know? Gotta keep that girl in check. She's gotta be fashionable. I'm trying to give her a fashion cut.
Yeah. Well, today, for the beverage of choice, we got Popwell.
I love this can. The design is so, modern, I guess. It's very, on trend. It looks trendy.
Yeah, it's...
What is it?
It's a new prebiotic soda from the makers of Sparkling Ice.
We love them. We love our Sparkling Ice.
They're getting into the prebiotic soda game.
Better for me, better flavor?
Yeah, let's see. Only 1 gram of sugar.
Love it.
And 35 calories.
Crack that baby open.
I have heard that they use plant-based prebiotics. I think Poppy does not. So they're... Because theirs, I think they said was boiled or something. So a lot of it dies.
Oh,
so
interesting.
This is not.
Science.
There's more alive.
There's more science in this one.
Let's see if there's any good. I've never personally had it.
I love it.
So
I love it already. What's the flavor?
Blackberry lime.
Ooh. I could get behind that.
Yeah.
I like lime.
Tune in next week for another flavor.
Wait, that's actually pretty strong. They're it's definitely blackberry.
Yeah.
There's a blackberry liqueur that smells just like this. Automatic fan. That definitely competes with Poppy. This, honestly, it is blackberry. It's not, I'm going to say this and it's wrong. Reminds me of a grape soda. It's definitely blackberry flavoring, but gives me grape soda vibes.
Yeah, no. I've had I'm a drink guy. And anytime a new drink comes out, I like to just get it and try it. I haven't had this yet, and I like this one. I've had a lot of these fancy prebiotic drinks that I'm just like...
You're what is it really? Is it doing
gross.
Anything? Yeah.
Yeah.
So many of them, I've had some... I don't know. The flavors just seem so hit or miss. And maybe that's everything in life. I don't know. But this one's really good. I don't taste the lime. I'll say that.
No, I don't either. But hey, get your gut health in check.
We are healthy, if anything.
Well.
Or we're trying to be.
We're trying.
Okay? I mean, it's soda, but.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
It's better. It's not Diet Coke. Doesn't that give you cancer?
I think so.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Science in a can. First topic of today, guilty. Richard Allen, who was charged with the 2017 murders of 2 teenage girls in Delphi, Indiana, has been found guilty. Allen was convicted on 4 counts of murder after the jury deliberated over a span of 4 days, according to the Associated Press. For 5 years, no suspects were identified, but in 2022, police arrested Allen, a Delphi resident. Can't talk today. After searching his home and allegedly finding knives, as well as a gun that authorities claimed linked to a bullet found at the scene. Over the years since the strange reportings and ongoings happened during the case, with lawyers being removed and then reinstated and questionable actions all around by the court system, including Allen eating his own shit in jail, and of course the Norse cult in the woods that had been taken over by white supremacists as potential suspect. Doubling down on our Halloween episode, it's never the cult in the woods. It's always just that creepy guy. But your opinion, right or wrong ruling, because there was a lot of things up in the air with this one.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah. A lot of people feel that way, to be honest. That's not unpopular for those of us who have followed the news or watch local news. Maybe it's different nationally. I mean, this is obviously kind of home turf for us.
They have a lot of evidence that doesn't look good for him.
For sure.
But then at the same time, it's like, I guess there's no better suspect, though.
It just seems strange where they came up from him. I mean, I guess if that gun is linked to the crime scene, just a reminder, though, that the girls were supposedly murdered by being slashed in the throat. So I don't actually understand the gun connection.
Yeah, because it was an unspent shell or casing or unspent bullet that they found.
Right.
So I don't know. Probably just a weapon, like a threaten, you know.
Yeah. I guess they were led down the hill. Obviously, famous line from that or at gunpoint.
Yeah.
I don't really know enough about bullets to know how things match together, I suppose. But, you know, hopefully he is the right guy and we're not sending someone to jail to just rot because we wanted this to have a happy. I mean, it's not a happy ending. It's never going to be a happy ending because we have 2 children that are no longer with us. They should be adults and they're just not. So never was going to be happy, but you also don't want someone to spend time in jail for something they didn't do.
Yeah, for sure.
I do just want to give a shout out to the Norse cult in the woods, though. I hope they're not taken over by white supremacists because that's another problem we should really look into if that's true.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
To know more.
Yeah. Somebody follow up on that. Get those people. Because, you can be a cult, I think, but you can't be a white supremacist, right?
Right. I mean,
one of those things is illegal. Cults, maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, we have our own.
Yeah.
We're not
Shrimp Jesus.
doing anything illegal.
No, I think you can fully be in a cult. Most cults just end up abusive, and that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't need that. There's another cult that I kind of have. I feel like there's conspiracy theory cults.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not a real cult, but just conspiracy theorists. And for the longest time, UFOs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but we're talking about it. The government's talking about it, right? So UFO or UAP, this is our next headline of today. A joint hearing by subcommittees of the House Oversight Committee took place this weekend, which say that 8 times fast, but all these subcommittees met. That's the point. The title, Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Exposing the Truth. The UAP acronym is the official term the government now uses to refer to the unexplained phenomena, arguing it is less loaded and stigmatized than UFO. But it also accounts for the fact that, as witnesses reinforced on Wednesday, many sightings are of objects in the water. So not just the sky, as we're often used to. We think of flying saucers in the sky, right? Legislators have spent the past year pushing for new laws that would boost UAP, that's UFO again, transparency, with one seeking to create a civilian reporting mechanism and one directing the executive branch to declassify certain records. But elected officials and UAP transparency advocates say it's not enough. My question for you, friend, waste of taxpayer dollars or nah? Is it more fun to just let that be a conspiracy, or do we actually need to spend our taxpayer dollars to set up stuff? Because you're talking about civilian reporting mechanism. That's an IT department earning money.
I mean, I think it depends on what they plan to do with the reporting information. I don't know.
Well, we have Space Force now. Maybe Space Force can just do it.
True. I feel like the government knows more than what they're going to say.
I mean, I feel like according to this, just based on the fact that elected officials and advocates are wanting to declassify certain records. So yes, right? That now it's known. It's you have records, you should open up.
And, there's the famous video that's called the Tic Tac video where the Navy pilots are flying and they get this object and they got it on their lock and it's not anything we have.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very famous now. I actually did talk to a guy in the Navy a couple weeks ago, and he did mention to me though that a lot of the pilots that he knows there, they see stuff when they're flying. They're there's things out there, and we see them all the time.
Which makes me feel like maybe we just suck. There are just better human races. Whatever. We don't have to call them humans. There are better races of species of something out there that have created, cooler flying mechanisms.
Well, and, it doesn't Really? I would think that there's other people out there because just the vastness of space.
But why can they fly so much further than us? That's what I'm saying. Like, are we like the losers? Like, do we not even know it? Like, they're so much more advanced, and all these other people are probably connecting with each other and talking, and they're like, but there's just these idiots. Like, why haven't they even talked to us? If that's like a whole thing, like, are we just like the village idiot of like a larger universe?
I don't know.
Because I can't handle that if I am.
I feel like there's...
I don't want to be the village idiot.
I feel like it's all over the spectrum. You know, there's
just
got
seems
to
like
be...
one person should have talked to us by now. They couldn't find one guy that wasn't like a crazy guy on the street yelling about like tinfoil hats to like be like, hey, I'm actually totally from another planet.
Maybe they're too afraid.
All of them?
Yeah.
We're just like
maybe they watch us and they're like, these guys just kill each other all the time. So we're not gonna...
Like the other planets are advanced because they don't murder each other?
Maybe
they have like way smaller populations. Because if you look at certain countries where you're like, you look really put together, they're also typically like, it's like nearly one race, like, and a smaller number of people and like just a way more simpler system of humans.
I don't know. I just, I think if you look at it, the odds that somebody's out there is good, I think.
I don't know that I would say yes or no. Just seems suspicious if we haven't talked to them. Like maybe somebody's lying about people actually making contact. I just feel like, I don't know if I have the ability to go to another country, unless I feel super unsafe, like you said, I'm probably going to be like, hey, could I I don't know. How do you even break that news? Like if you land on a new planet.
Well, there's that new documentary on Netflix, something about the New York abduction or something. I guess it was like in the 60s or 70s. Some lady got abducted in like New York City.
I don't know that I ever believe anything from the 60s and 70s because that was like height of UFO paranoia.
Yeah, well, I guess there's like, I haven't...
Not to discredit an entire like 20 years of history. That's
I only watched
outrageous
about
of me.
10 minutes of it. But it sounded like it was the like most witnessed abduction. There was like over 50 people saw it happen.
Oh, we're getting into like Jesus territory,
yeah.
You know, where you had like hundreds of people be like, nah, that one did come back to life.
And they're like, it's just a giant cover up. So I don't know. We'll see. They talked to the lady that, you know, was abducted. She's in it. So I have to watch it. So
that NDA came to a close and she was like, nah, I'm going to get mine.
Yeah.
Get your bag, girl.
So,
all right.
I need to watch it.
I'll be honest. I don't want to spend taxpayer dollars on it because I don't know, seems like we're handling it as is, or they come in peace. Like one of those two things is true. You know?
I don't know. Nobody knows because they haven't told us.
We just have other things. Listen, if it gets bad, we'll like put FEMA on it. I don't know. All right. The Vegas hates the NFL.
The Vegas?
The Vegas hates the NFL right now. According to the Wall Street Journal, DraftKings and FanDuel have recently said the increased payouts to sports bettors will lead to lower revenue this year, with DraftKings CEO Jason Robbins blamed on the most customer-friendly stretch of NFL sport outcomes we have ever seen. DraftKings slashed its 2024 revenue guidance by $250 million, while FanDuel parent Flutter cut its annual U.S. revenue forecast by $50 million. What's happening? Popular teams to bet on, like the Chiefs and the Lions, are winning. On the second Sunday of October, FanDuel's worst day of the NFL season, 11 of the 13 favorite teams beat their opponents. Twist of a question, is this year the most overrated NFL season ever?
Overrated?
Yeah. Like last year, I felt like it was a great football season. Seemed like anybody could win, anybody could lose. Taylor Swift just got here. Life was good. She won a Super Bowl. It was wild.
Yeah,
it was great. She did win it. Year one, that girl came in and said, I just know how to do it. Like, she knows how to do life. She's got all the cheat codes. But, like, this year, it is kind of steady as she goes. I don't know. Is it overrated? It's like, football was really good, and now I'm like,
I'm so over the Chiefs. Get them out of here. Oh, yeah.
Because they're undefeated. How wild was it to win on a missed field goal kick? Because that just seems so rare. That's electric, as Travis Kelce would say.
A lot of people think that the refs are helping the Chiefs.
Sure.
They're
I've seen this.
protecting Mahomes.
Let's
a
keep it on
lot.
conspiracy theories. Let's keep going.
Well, you heard they picked up on audio where he asked them, the refs,
I think I would say that too.
like, hey, say something when they're about to tackle me or something.
But did the refs say something?
I don't know.
Is that cheating?
Why would you ask? Like, I don't know.
I'll take a heads up if I'm about to get like tackled from behind.
Yeah, sure. I'll just let you know when a play's about to happen.
It'd be so funny to honestly like watch a ref run alongside them and be like, he's coming. Because also, what if he's like lying? What if he's just like trying to psych you out? He's like, I'm actually for the other team.
But I don't know. There's the, what was it? The Bengals game versus.
Wait, say that again.
The Bengals?
Bengals?
Yeah.
Bengals? Bengals?
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
The Bengals.
Bengals?
Yeah.
Bengals.
Yeah. The Cincinnati football team.
Okay.
They lost. Like, it was a close game. I can't remember who they were playing. If it was the Ravens.
It was the Ravens, and they lost by a point.
And there was like 3 face smacks in like one screenshot.
I have seen that screenshot in multiple angles. I also like that Joe Burrow guy. I like his face.
Oh. What do you think of his hair? I don't like the whole blonde
Oh,
hair
it brings me back to like boy band hair.
Yeah, that was a weird move, Joe.
You know, individual style has no definition.
They like to come every year with like a different hairstyle. A lot of football players.
Him specifically?
Just football players, I feel like they do that.
I think they're boys that I think that's just what happens to boys when they get money. Like if they didn't have money and then they get money, it's like, I'm going to do something weird.
Yeah.
Because I can. And you know what? More power to you. I guess he went from like Slim Shady to like In Sync. I assume at some point it just gets cut off based on the way this is going. I did feel really bad for that football team though. Losing by a point, that would be demoralizing. And they've had a rough season so far.
Well, they went for 2 to win the game because they could have kicked the field goal to tie it, the extra point. But they went for 2 because they had just came back from like being down a lot.
Yeah.
And they were away.
You're like, I'm hot, so let's go.
So they risked it.
Coaching is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean,
you know, honestly, I guess now that you're talking about that, this last few weekends, even if 11 of the favored teams won, the games were better. But I would say the start to this football season was yawn. Kind of boring.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the Colts this week or next week, I don't know when they have their bye.
Yeah.
Is it?
By the way, the Bills team travels well.
Yeah.
Travels very well.
It was loud in there for...
Yeah. Also, just working downtown, I saw a lot of them. I go to Mass downtown, and like
Bills Mafia.
I ran into the Mafia because I park near where I guess they stay. The Bills football team stayed, and so their fans were like waiting for them. So I like ran into the football team on the way to church. So strange. Either way, that team. It's like they brought, I feel like, I don't know how many people are in Buffalo, New York, but half of them were here. Like, can confirm. That's an exact measure. Half of Buffalo was in Indianapolis.
That's tough. Maybe that's why traffic's so bad all the time.
They need to get out of here because our traffic is already horrible.
Yeah. But, the Colts' next game, I think it's against the Lions. So congratulations on your win, Detroit fans.
Detroit's killing it, and I kind of like it.
I do too.
I like when other teams get good. Like, let's make it interesting.
They were bad so long. I'm like happy
awful
for them.
too.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, it's kind of like when the Dolphins got good too. You're like, oh, good, finally, because it's not fun if you suck every year.
Yeah,
it's like a good joke once.
They're good for a little bit.
Yeah. A team that sucks multiple years consistently is like it's like a knock joke. They're not really funny.
Yeah, you just get used to it. Like, I mean, the Browns.
Oh, you know what though? That's what they get for hiring a trash human.
Appropriate name.
Jameis Winston is hilarious though.
Yeah,
I enjoy his
He's got
audio
some
quotes.
Weird quotes
For sure. I like him. I like what he's about. I hope they do well with him. But that other, I can't even remember what his name was. The previous quarterback who's just garbage.
Watson.
Oh yeah. Garbage human being. Yeah. Right? Like, I think everybody kind of got behind that. I don't think anybody wanted them.
Speaking of the betting though, I don't know. I'm sure you saw where there's this one fantasy football league,
Right.
where the loser has to put like a $5 bet for like the fantasy league,
Okay.
and they do a parlay for every team like that week,
Yeah.
and they hit.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, so they got all the guests, like they got them all right, and they won like 45,000 or something like that.
That's a great week.
Yeah,
That's a great week.
it's awesome.
That's a new car week.
Yeah, but I think they have to split it with the league.
Lame.
Yeah.
Lame. Quit the league, keep the money. That's what I'm doing.
Oh,
I knew you
guys
win.
can have your fantasy football.
I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah,
Going to the Vegas.
double it.
Hell yeah. Bye. Let's get into some golfing and politics, shall we?
Okay.
All right, our next story. The pivotal point of the OG Democratic campaign came when two old men were on stage arguing about their golf game. Remember that?
No.
Back in the beginning phases of like, hey, election time, it's still Biden and Trump. They literally got into an argument about their golf game on stage at the first debate. I think after Biden like had that moment, that's kind of when Harris came in and took over. Obviously, she went on to lose the election to former President Trump, who's now our incumbent. But golf is making the headlines again. South Korea's presidential office said leader Yoon Suk Yeol, I don't know if I said that right, but that's my best shot at it, said he started practicing golf for the first time in 8 years to prepare for golf diplomacy with Trump. Who is cheating first? Who's cheating first?
I think Trump's cheating first.
Do you think it matters where they play? Because, like, cheating on his own golf course, he might not have to do, right? Because he owns it. But if he goes to, South Korea, I just wonder if South Korea wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't risk it. I'd cheat if I was South Korea.
I mean,
Because we're not just playing golf. It's
cheat
never
too.
just golf.
South Korea should definitely cheat because Trump's going to cheat on probably every hole.
Hole one?
You got to have 2 off the first tee.
Hole one is always the one where, like, people can see you, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, so maybe not there.
Down like in a valley over the hill. You just throw the ball up the hill.
Which country? So, like, I'm thinking, like, Scotland is not its own country, but it wants to be so bad. I can see them, and he owns a golf course there.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them totally, like, I don't know what the leader of Scotland is, or, like, if there's a leader to that movement. I think they're having a golf meeting with Trump for sure. Like, what other countries are trying to get in on this game? South Korea. I'm going to put Scotland in there.
Maybe Japan.
Japan needs a golf game.
I feel like they have some golfers.
Their currency is not strong at the moment. Could serve them well to have. I'm saying, like, who needs to be in this golf game? You don't have to have just 2 people, like 4. Let's make it a group. That's why I'm saying Scotland. I think they want some U.S. help in becoming. They're like, we want independence too.
So it's like
Dollar bill, y'all.
Well, let's see.
South Korea's already there because
Yeah.
they came out and said it.
If you're doing like a foursome.
I appreciate the prep. He's like, I'm gonna start now so that I can be hella good.
I bet he wins.
It seems like something that like those
My money's
because
on,
I feel like Asian nations love some detail.
my money's on Yoon.
Yoon Suk Yeol.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about the way I said that too.
Yeah. It's always like it looks right, but I bet it's not.
Nah, I probably demolished it, but I'm gonna feel good about it right now until someone yells at me. So
remember when we tried to pronounce macaques and it was just them screaming?
yeah, that was great.
That was cool.
Let's bring back that as a sound. Remember when people used to yell mashed potatoes after Tiger Woods would take a swing? That was a thing for a hot minute back in the early 2000s. You could just play that after South Korea swings or something.
Oh.
You can be their fanboy.
Well, see, whenever you brought up golf, I thought you were going to talk about Caitlin Clark.
In other golf news, now we're just a golf channel.
Yeah.
She took a swing and it went hard left into some folks.
Yeah.
But
and she was just like,
you know, don't be shaken by your failures. Just keep going.
I mean, they teach you whenever you're training to play golf, don't stand in front of the golfer, right?
Right.
'Cause
Well, who set up the crowd? The crowd was, I think
I can see doing it.
I think that was a dumb move, though, because these are not professional golfers.
Right.
Why
She's
did
a
we put them
basketball
behind
player.
him?
Yeah. That's just putting your crowd in danger.
Yes, agreed. They definitely need to be behind the box.
Yeah. Not a good move.
That being said, made her more relatable. I play golf, and I feel like that's also always my first hit off a tee. So,
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah. Well, they call it the breakfast ball, right? You get 2 off the first.
I think it's called the Bloody Mary ball because you should take a drink before you do it.
Yeah. I would disagree on the Bloody Mary as the drink, though.
It's just like the golf drink, though, if you go have an early morning golf.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there. I like a Bloody Caesar. I don't love a mimosa, and I don't like a Bloody Mary.
Oh, wait, I forget. I used to know. What's the Caesar?
It's got like more of the what is it? Olive juice or oyster juice or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's move on to our next topic because I can't stand golf anymore. Then we talked about it.
All right.
COP-29. It's a real thing. This is from the New York Times.
What's that?
It's the UN's annual summit on climate change. So they hit the 29. It's their 29th annual. A few things happened, and a few things did not happen. This year's conference is in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan?
You didn't hear that wrong. I just don't know how to say it. But it's in Baku, where drilling rigs are visible from the COP29 stadium venue. And oil and gas accounts for 90% of export revenue for Baku. Russia helped secure the host status by blocking unanimous approval for any country that opposed the invasion of Ukraine. I don't know how those things relate or why that worked together, but amazing, I guess. That's some chestnut checkers kind of moment from Russia there. Also, 48 fewer heads of state are addressing the COP29 than last year. Xi Jinping of China and Joe Biden. I started.
You didn't know how to pronounce this. What's this name?
Who's that? I had a Joe Biden moment talking about Joe Biden. Anyway, the presidents of the 2 biggest oil-producing countries won't be there, and the island nation of Papua New Guinea is boycotting the 12-day-long summit, which called it a total waste of time, which I love that. Get some sassy Papua New Guinea? Whatever. Negotiators, though, did come to one pretty big agreement on the sale of carbon credits between countries after years of a gridlock. Carbon credits let wealthier nations like the Netherlands, Japan, us, the U.S., meet climate targets by buying smaller countries' emission reductions without necessarily reducing their actual footprint. So, for example, you plant new trees, even though a sapling doesn't quite do what a 100-year-old tree does, you would get a credit. Another country can purchase the credit and not have planted those trees. So it's just like you did a thing. Now I take the credit for it.
There's a business for that.
There's a business for that. And it's been going on for 29 years. That's how long this has been going on.
That's not helping the environment, though.
No, it doesn't. And by the way, Indiana planted 1 million trees over the last 4 years. That was actually a project of our Department of Natural Resources. So I don't know. Maybe the U.S. has some credits based off of that. So it's bad for climate, but potentially good for poor nations because they've got to be making money off of this, I would hope. I hope the new standard allows them to make some money off of it. My question for you is, should we stop calling it climate change and go back to just pollution? Seems like we got more done when it was just pollution.
Yeah, pollution just sounds bad.
Yeah. Also, everybody cleans. Like most people clean something, right? Like we all know cleanup. Like everybody can get behind cleanup. Like climate change, there's been like pro-science, anti-science, like left, right, blah, 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 blah. People really feel some type of way about climate change or global warming. But like everybody felt like back in the 90s, everybody was kind of behind stopping pollution, right?
Yeah,
like
we were.
Nobody likes pollution. Nobody.
We were like reducing, reusing, and recycling
The heck out of it.
Yeah.
Of everything.
It was awesome.
That hole in the ozone like is gone.
Yeah.
That's wild. We did that with pollution.
It was a big thing when I was in school, like elementary school.
We thought we were going to be like bronze goddesses because it was just going to get bigger, you know? Everybody was prepared to be tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think like
they got to clean up the ocean, though.
I think there's like a good heart behind it. Yeah, we got to like aqua pollution now or something.
It's real
like,
bad.
Let's come up with a fancy term there.
It's real bad.
I just think the like politics tried to make it like just sound official and then it just upset everyone. But if we go back to pollution, people hate pollution.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, people hate pollution. Some people don't hate climate change. People hate pollution. Nobody wants to be dirty. You know what I mean? Like, I think most countries, nobody's like wants dirty. Nobody wants dirty. So pollution bad. And you're right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we focused on air pollution back in the 90s. We forgot to focus on water pollution.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe don't burn it, just dump it in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
We did. Now we gotta figure that out.
Maybe
There are a lot of companies out there trying to figure that giant floating island of plastic out.
Yes. It's a big, I mean,
here's the thing. If UFOs, I know we just talked about it, but I'm already lost. UAPs, if UAPs exist, why don't we just ask them to like get a bunch of UAPs and just lift that and take it? Because like maybe they're advanced enough to know how to like disintegrate it. Best case scenario, when they hit like hyperspeed or plaid or whatever the speed is when you go to like the next universe, it just disintegrates. That's my plan. I'm going to combine these things and that solves the problem.
Yeah, we got a bunch of plastic for you. Maybe you can use it to power your UAPs.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I trust the pilots of the UAPs. I feel like they've got to be decently smart of their species.
I don't know what kind of fuel they use.
No clue. Definitely not plastic. They're smarter than that.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, though, the air pollution in China is horrendous. I've been to Shanghai and it hurts my face. So, yeah, some people didn't get on top of pollution.
Yeah, no. I've been to Beijing.
Gross.
Transfer.
Yeah.
Airport transfer.
Layover.
That's the word.
Got it.
I knew there was a word for it.
Boom.
Yeah. That was weird.
Did you make it outside then? Or you were just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we didn't realize this. So we show up to the Beijing airport at like midnight.
Okay.
And the next flight was like 8 a.m.
Right.
And we're like, okay, we'll just sleep in the airport. Yeah. But it was in like a different terminal. So we're like, okay, we'll just go over there. No. We go to like try to follow the signs for the terminal we're trying to get to. And it's not in that airport.
No.
It's in a different airport.
No.
So this guy was like, you have to go to a hotel. And we were like, no, we don't want to. We just want to go to the airport. He's like, no, you go to a hotel. So we're like, okay, fine. So he takes us like through this airport hallway. And then it looks like we walk through like this back alley thing. Like in those movies where they have like the sheets hanging down.
Sure.
Like plastic where it's like a meat locker.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We walk through those.
Amazing.
To leave the airport. And he's like, there's the van for the hotel, but
it's through the meat market.
He's like, it's just you two. We take my car.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So
like, great. I love getting into cars with strangers. That's not a lesson they teach you from 5 years old and up.
So we were like, we looked at each other and like, she had the passports like ready. And then we were like, we were ready to fight this dude. We were like getting in that mindset. We're like, we might have to fight this guy. So we get in his car and he takes us. Luckily, he took us to a hotel.
Love it.
And we stayed in this room. No idea what we paid for the room because, it was in like yen or something. So then we sleep for like maybe 2 hours because we couldn't sleep. And we get on the shuttle the next morning to go to that terminal. And because luckily there was a person there who spoke English. And he's like, just follow me. We're like, okay, cool. Come to find out, we get to the terminal. That terminal is closed at midnight.
Stop.
So you can't even go there and wait. It opens up at like 6 a.m.
So back to the hotel?
We had to go to the hotel, like he said. So that's why we had to go to the hotel.
Because it was just literally closed. Okay, so he saved you. You didn't go there at midnight.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was actually closed. He was a nice guy after all.
You know,
you just got to trust people sometimes.
It's so hard. I think especially as Americans, we get the like stranger danger to like another level because we don't cross borders as often as other countries. Honestly, China probably understands as well as we do because they probably also don't cross borders quite as frequently.
That was the other thing too.
Others.
There was all these signs in the airport that, was talking about
don't trust people.
About having a visa.
Yeah.
And you can't go anywhere. And then we were like, well, we can't leave the airport and go to the hotel because we don't have like a visa.
Right.
And he's like, no.
Yeah, you do have to have a visa to enter China.
But apparently if you're just traveling through, you get like 48 hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We were okay. But the thing that got us the most was walking through the meat curtains, like whatever it's called.
Love it.
And then there's the bus, but we take my car because it's just you two.
Right.
I was like, ugh.
I don't love the like nonchalantness of this. I want things to be very official and very by the book when I'm in a foreign country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think we have like an additional fear. I think we do. And you do, like, there are good people out there. The problem is there are bad people out there, and that could have easily been you in the meat market.
It is 50-50. Yeah.
I'm glad you made it out, friend.
Yeah,
I'm glad you made it out.
Me too.
Either way, China's going to work on their like air pollution, though. Nasty. They wouldn't have been able to see anything going on to you with as thick it is.
I do remember it.
That
kind of
air.
thick.
Yeah, it's gross. All right. We're actually to our final story of the day.
Sweet.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Mattel had to apologize after it accidentally printed the URL for a porn site on the packaging for its new Wicked dolls. Wicked as in like the Oz musical spinoff.
Yeah.
It's now a movie. And honestly, that was all the info I really needed. But to be clear, this was a very small URL printed on the back of the Barbie box with like, it's like, made in China address of probably Universal or whoever's putting out this movie. And then like www.wicked.com. Who do you think the first person was to notice that was a porn site? And how awkward is it? Like, because it got printed. So obviously, whatever graphic designer and communication team, they wrote that, right. They never checked, or they were like, clearly it's just going to be wicked.com, right? Like, somebody gave them the wrong URL. Somebody didn't check it. Whatever happened, it made it onto the dolls. These dolls went out into the world. Do you think it was a fan? Like a CEO? Another head, like who do you think noticed and said, wicked.com, that's a porn site? Or do you think someone genuinely like looked at that box, said, oh, I'll go to wicked.com, and then was like flabbergasted that it was a porn site?
I definitely think it was a kid who had a Barbie, and then they were like, Mom, like, what's this?
One of those.
And then Mom like posted it.
The kids that have like extreme detail orientation.
Yeah. And then Mom posted it on Facebook. You believe what Barbie's doing? Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Like a Karen took to... Honestly, though, Karen in this... this Karen had a point. Probably shouldn't be putting porn sites on...
Yeah. Check dolls. That URL, maybe.
I think that these dolls... Because these are, like, collector's dolls. Wicked is a musical that has ran for... over a decade now, I think. Mm-hmm. And has a huge cult following.
Yep. Got that movie coming out here soon.
They've got the movie coming out. I think it was probably an adult, to be honest, because I think collectors are looking at these Barbies. I don't think this is a Barbie you just bought your kid because Wizard of Oz, I think Wicked will actually introduce a new generation to Wizard of Oz. It's a really old movie, obviously.
Yeah, true.
It is kind of in the zeitgeist still. I feel like people understand Ruby Red Slippers, There's No Place Like Home, Toto, like all of that. But I still think that these dolls probably hit with that like cult demographic that's older, that's like collecting all of this crap because it's a movie now. And I don't know. It could be a Wicked fan that's a Wicked fan.
Yeah. That's also, yeah. Anybody ever think of that? Probably not.
That's what I think it was. Yeah. I think a Wicked fan was a Wicked fan and was like, wait a minute. And like double checked and was like,
yeah. good catch.
Can you imagine being on the consumer team that like gets that feedback? Like you got that email and was like, hey, FYI, I bought your doll. Did you see this part right here where it says wicked.com? Porn site. Unless you're releasing the video on it. Questionable outtakes? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ariana did have an affair, so like who knows?
It's everything's possible nowadays. Maybe it's AI video. Who knows?
Unlimited. I think that's a song. I can't sing, so I can't give you a rendition of any of it.
I do have a story kind of similar to that.
Hit me with this nightcap.
Yeah, this will be the nightcap. I was at work, and we have a pizza chain here called Hot Box Pizza.
Love Hot Box Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
And, we were trying to look up the pie of the week because you get 50% off.
I was literally, that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Hot Box.
Yeah. So I pull up, Google on the old work computer at work, type in hotbox.com. It does not go to the pizza place.
Amazing.
I got a message that said...
hotboxpizza.com.
Yeah.
Very important.
I got a message that said, blocked due to like pornographic site, like from my work.
You are definitely getting an HR email.
No, my boss was sitting in the next room. And
okay.
her name was Jess. And I just yelled, I go, hey, Jess, if you're getting emails about pornographic sites.
I was trying to find pizza.
You got to type in hotboxpizza.com. And she just laughed.
Important nuances to websites.
She just giggled and we ordered some pizza.
I'm going to just say the makers of porn, did they genuinely buy all the easy.coms? Because this seems to happen a lot. I don't think this is the first story like this where it's like somebody got the URL wrong because they oversimplified it and it went to specifically a porn website. I feel like these people, like, maybe it's just like creepy dudes or what, or they hired really smart marketing companies because they seem to all own like the best URLs.
I remember.
I think if I genuinely went to like abc.com, it's not going to be ABC Tools. It's going to be like ABC, like FU. Like,
who knows? There's probably a company out there. ABC.
No, ABC is a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, you're with me. It's like probably also a porn site.
Or that. I remember like the first one I think that this happened. I remember being in middle school and you get like an assignment. So I remember we would go to the computer lab.
Sure.
And people would just type in whitehouse.com. Well, apparently that's also a porn site.
No way.
Yeah. It has to be whitehouse.gov.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no. Yeah, everything on the government is a .gov.
Why have they not bought whitehouse.com?
I don't know who,
because that got blocked.
I mean, it would have been, either the first Bush or Bill Clinton's fault. One of those teams that they didn't think to buy .gov, .com, whatever. That's definitely a thing, honestly, that I still teach people today. Most people don't. And give it some businesses, it's pretty cheap, but I understand that you don't necessarily have the money to go around and buy like .co, .uk, whatever, like for all of your business needs. But the porn industry, ahead of their time. And maybe specifically because it was sort of an innovation to put porn online. So maybe that's why they were so good at it. Like that needs to be a larger conversation because obviously porn, if you think about it in the traditional sense, like I think of Playboy, right? That was a magazine. Hustler, that's a magazine. That would have been porn. And now it's like online. I mean, I guess they're like video stores, right, for porn too. That's always like a joke. And then it got put online. Like maybe they really were just like ahead of it in the marketing game. As a marketer myself, like to some degree right now, I'm having an epiphany that they're really good at marketing.
Maybe you should just like look for your next new hire.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, you work for OnlyFans? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Like, because you're ahead of it, right?
You're like, go talk to your boss.
What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
We got to hire this guy.
We got it. Stop looking in military. Stop looking in government. Let's look in porn for the next marketer.
They got it.
Honestly, that makes me a genius. I figured this shit out.
Yeah.
Done and done. Boom. Yeah. Well, that's our episode for today, friends. We're ending it on dirty Barbies and porn.
That's a first.
That is a first. Join us next time for another episode of our Dinner Party Podcast. Bye.
Bye.